What's going on, family? This is not financial advice. Do your own research. Check this out, man. Updated news on Google. Then we're gonna get into some charts. As you know, the market tanked. Google alone was down 8.27% on the day. I think they're lower. I think they're about 98 price right now.
Lower, down nearly, wow, 8% there. TechGiant hosted a presentation from the AI features. Our senior tech reporter, Ali Garfield, is here to discuss more about that. What's going on here? Why is Google Bard kind of just getting a lackluster response?
Yeah, this was a question I had to cross, and there were a couple of things that became immediately clear as I started talking to experts. The first was that there were fears about Bard's accuracy pretty much right out of the gate. Basically, what happened, I'm not an astrophysicist, but Bard was asked about new discoveries from the James Webb Space Telescope, and the sentence was presented oddly, and what you ended up with was something that was actually technically accurate according to Financial Times reporting, but presenting a broader problem about interpreting how these chatbots, right? So on one hand, you have that, and then on the other, the showcase wasn't necessarily what people were expecting. I spoke to a couple of SEO experts about this who follow Google like it's their job because it is. And what they were saying is that the showcase really reiterated and expanded on features that already existed. One example of this is the searcher screen feature for Google Lens, and that was talked about by the company as being in beta back in 2021. So a lot of stuff is being expanded, but not a lot that's new. And the last thing that's maybe worth noting is that the presentation itself was kind of on Google-like in certain ways. One analyst I saw was using the word underwhelming, and an SEO expert I was talking to, actually just outside the studio, the story is developing so fast that I was talking to him and got this quote from him literally 5 minutes ago. What he said that I thought was really profound was, we wanted to see something that was a game changer, and instead what we ended up with was them talking about subtleties.
So as you can see, they did not like the news on Google, the AI reveal. Excuse me. This market tanked with Google. So I'll show you some support and resistance levels and a confluence of the VIX and the dollar index. And we can kind of see where the market is headed right now. So we're going to take a look at the VIX with the dollar. So as you can see, we're going to go to the dollar index. The dollar is flagging. They're looking really strong, and I'm looking for a break above 103.5 for continuation of this move. As you can see, they pull right back. They recaptured this trend line. They stopped at the 50, and the dollar is looking strong again. This is just a pullback, and this is critical support where they're at. So if I see a break above this flagging pattern here for as you can see the dollar, I just want to see a break above this, and we could easily push back on up to 105 to 106 area. So that's what I'm looking at on the dollar. It's looking real strong, and I'm looking for continuation because of the market. So we're gonna check out the VIX in comparison. As you can see, the VIX broke this trend line here. They're back above 20 again. So this means volatility is coming back into the market as well as fear. So I'm gonna kind of zoom in, and you can see this is a huge candle. We're gonna even check out the weekly and see um, where we're at. So you can see the VIX broke this trend line. They're back above 20, and we're looking for a continuation tomorrow. So the VIX continues to break above 21 um, to 21.7. If we can see continuation of the VIX, this thing can spike all the way back up to 24 easily. So that's what we're looking at, man. Everything is at critical resistance in this market, and uh, I'm gonna show you. I'm just gonna kind of check out these major resistance level that coincidentally everything is at. So we got Apple at the 50, right? So the Apple sold off. If they break beneath 150, we're looking for them to come back down to the first level would be 147. And if they lose 147, we're coming back to the gap fill. I'm sorry, 148. We're coming back to the gap fill 147. So that'll be the first target for Apple. Then we can check out the S&P. All right. So the S&P is at critical resistance. They're at the 50%, just like Apple. Big bearish candle. They lost the 4100 area, and we did not see a reversal at the end of the day. So they closed low. It could come back and test this trend line down here at around 402 to 400 area. If we probably will get a bounce here. But if they continue to fall through and come back and backside retest this thing could push all the way back down to these lows, man. So the market is looking really weak. So I'm just show you some support and resistance levels that you can use for potential trades. So 50% fib levels. Obviously, we got critical levels up here where the gap is. So you can use the gap, obviously, as a critical level for a trade. See how price reacts off that level. Now we have another level down here. So we lost this for 4100 level. That was a big number. Now we're beneath the breakout zone. So if we can come down and continue to push down, the next target would be 4060, 4060. And then after that, it would be this level where they stop, 4037 area, 4035, somewhere in there. But I'm looking for some type of bounce tomorrow. Right. So straight out of the gate, they gapped all the way up to resistance. So they double top. This is yesterday's high, right? So we're watching yesterday's high. This is where price came exactly to the number. And then they just consolidated, made a series of lower highs. So once I seen the spike up and immediate rejection, they took a minute for them to get his move up, but they consolidated and they made a lower high and they pushed back up again. And this was really where they gave it away. So once they spiked down, you could have got in on a retracement up here because this is the key level. So right up here at 4156, this is the zone that we were watching today, right here. So once they rejected off this zone, you can see this is the zone from yesterday. Once they rejected off this zone and spike down, you're looking for retracement. So once you see this candle closing beneath this bar, this is a short position. Could have easily rolled them on down to 4030. Where's 4030? Yep, 4030. That was my first target, but you could easily roll them down to 4020. Then they retraced again, and then big bearish candle. This was the last trade of the day that I liked. So the first retracement was here, break beneath this candle, and this was probably the best trade of the day because you could have just once you seen them. I didn't catch this move, but this was my trade. So the first initial trade of retracement, and I caught the second push down to here. So these two were my trades, but it's just looking back on it. It's different when you trading live. So once I seen this push down, retracement, push down, another lower high. This was the trade that I missed. They shot straight on through there, and then they consolidated, retraced again, another lower high. This becoming a downtrend. So once we see this continuation and no reaction off of the support and resistance level, we can begin to draw our trend line. So All right. So we can see we got a nice trend line going here. Boom, boom, boom. All right. And continuation. So today was a pretty easy day if you could have caught these moves. But this probably was the hardest up here because they sat around for all the way up into an hour and a half before they actually did anything. Hour and a half, and they finally broke on down. I'm sorry, that's an hour. So an hour. They sat around for an hour, then they finally gave it away at the last minute, and they retraced, and then they continued. So the key level we were watching was 40.56 from yesterday's highs, and the support is right here at 41.17. So 4100, as you know, is way down here. So we're waiting to see if price will react, but they did not. So continuation on in tomorrow. So use these key levels as points of reference, and you can always go over this when you're done trading. So the next support is down here at 40.60, right? 40.60 on down to the next level will be 40.36, 40.35 area, somewhere down here. And then the trend line comes into play as well at 40.40, somewhere in here. So these are the targets. If we see continuation, that you know they're coming down here, they could stall and just come on down to 40.60 and the next level. These are just price targets that the market likes to go to. So it's kind of rigged. The market is rigged to price. So this is the next level. We got a nice zone down here, nice zone down here. So just be prepared to use these levels as entry points once they test these levels. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, though. I do want to look at Google because Google, uh, wow. So Google is actually, they continue to push down even after hours. So this is a sign that we're gonna see continuation tomorrow, obviously. So Google has completely fell off a cliff. They broke back beneath the trend line. So I'm looking for a retest tomorrow. They could possibly push back up to 96. And we're going to be looking to sell this zone. So we're going to put an alert up here. All right. So this is the zone that we're waiting for. If they can come back up here and test this zone, that's a sell for us. All right. So we're going to kind of zoom out, look at Google on a bigger time frame. So Google is costing the market. So if we can see continuation of Google beneath this trend line. So if Google breaks down under 90, well, they're already in 95. So if they break under 92, we obviously can see it push straight back down to 89 and even back down to the lows down here 85. So gotta watch Google. I got alert set on Google. Well, they already took out this alert. So, but Google is definitely getting smashed. And if you look, Google stopped at a critical level. They stopped at the 38% as well. So they stopped at 38, critical resistance at the gap, and they continue to reject. They're just showing a weakness in this market, man. So I'm watching for tomorrow, man. Continuation, selling for Google. So if we can see this continuation, man, the market will go with Google. And Apple is selling off as well. So hit like, subscribe, man, so we can keep this content pumping. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Out.